Hi friends, welcome back and a new topic called DevOps and Docker and Containeization. What exactly these all the things and how we can able to understand. Okay, and here basically Docker. First we'll go for Dockers. Docker is an open source. Open source. In this open source containerization platform, which you can pack your application and all the dependency into the standardization unit called as a containers, because we can able to all the things packing and we can able to make that all application inside a container. Okay, in these containers all the light in a white which make them the portable, and are isolated from that containers and the underlining infrastructures and from each other containers. You can able to run the Docker image as a Docker container. Docker image into a Docker container in any machine where Docker is installed without depending on your operating system. This is become it will work as another one system type, and it will what all the things you can able to install inside that. Nothing to required in a Windows system or something. You can able to without operating system you can able to do all the things in that particular container. Okay, this Docker is properly can mainly four things. One is portability and reproducibility and efficiency and scalability. These are the things they can able to check. What Docker file can do? A Docker file is uses a DSL is nothing but domain specification specify language means this particular thing like this DSL is basically and contain the infrastructures, right, generating the Docker image. The Docker file will define the process of quickly produce an image. While creating your application, you should create a Docker file in order to, since that Docker demands run all the infrastructure from the top to down. Okay, in this DSL having for it is a text documentation that contain the necessary command which on execution help the assemble that entire Docker image. Okay, and second thing, a Docker image is created using a Docker file only. A Docker image will create only using for Docker file only. Without the Docker file we cannot able to create any infrastructure. Okay, and the Docker, how the Docker will work, right? Basically we can say there are three parameters. One is one and two and three. Three. Okay, and first one become a client, and second one become docker docker host, and third one is a register dockery. Okay, registry and a docker. Okay, and here what will happen, a client having for docker build and docker pull and docker run, there are three arguments will be presented. One is docker build, one is there. Okay, and another one is docker pull, and finally they can able to see docker runner. Okay, these are the three parameter will be there in that particular docker. They can able to make it for docker demand. There is a docker demand will be presented. Okay, docker demand. Okay, from this what will happen, these three parameters will communicate with each other like this and like this and like this. Okay, these all the things will be coming, but only one thing is like the builder will go for docker domain, and docker domain to docker pull will come, and docker runner again it will go on here. Okay, from only here it will be like this will be presented. Okay, from here to here, and it remaining all things will be flow like this. Okay, both of the cases, and this docker daemon here also, daemon also, there are three things. One is container and another one is image. The two parts will be comes. Okay, from here there is a docker image and another one is a docker, and this is the container and this is the image, and here image will be presented and this is the containers. Okay, and the containers again having some code, because all the things, all the packed things are presented, right, and here will be presented. From here to, from here it will come to docker image. The docker image it will take any things which is are we are using to convert that, and it will go for again for container. Okay, and after all the conversation it will go for next docker registration. From here to the registration will comes, which is the things you are going to use like a OpenStack or NGX, which is the one you are going to use for right, that based upon that it will goes. Okay, and that what is docker image is presented, basically a docker image, it is a basically a file. Docker image is basically a file, and this file has comprised of multiple layers used to execute the code in a docker container. There are a set of instruction used to create a docker container. The image having some set of layers, and inside that containers it will having some set of lines of code instructions to create a docker containers. Okay, in the docker image is an executable package. Docker image is a executable package, okay, of the software, everything needed in a running application. The image info how a container should the instant, and determining which software component will run and how. Docker containers is a virtual environment that bundles that application code with all the dependency requiring run applications. Okay, what is Docker container? What, sorry, what is a Docker containers? Docker container also is a containers to runtime instance of image. Runtime instance of an image. Okay, it allows to developers to package the applications with all the parts needed, such as libraries, other dependencies. Docker containers are runtime instance of the Docker image. Containers contain the whole kit requires for application. What all the things are required? Everything the kit is presented inside that Docker containers. Okay, so application can be run instantly away. For example, you can able to suppose something you're going to OS nginx services. When the images is running with the docker run command, then the container will be created. Nginx services will be running, and Kubernetes OSs. Something OSs will be run. How it will can do that, all the things we'll see. Okay, what is Docker Hub? Docker Hub also like one kind of repository services, and is a cloud based service. where people push the Docker container image and also pull the Docker container image from the Docker hub anytime or anywhere via internet. Means they can able to, that's a cloud based services, they can repository for a Git, Git and how that SVN is working similar format. It is a Docker hub also presented cloud based. We can able to commit the code and we can able to get that, means pulling that entire container, okay, from the internet. We can able to use to finding that reuse the images. It provides the features such as you can able to push your image to private or public register where you can able to store your Docker images. Okay, mainly this DevOps team uses the Docker Hub. It is an open source tool. This is also one kind of open source tool and freely available in the, all the operating system. It is like a storage where we store the images and pull that image, and when when it is required, when the people want to push or pull the image from the Docker Hub, they must have basic knowledge of the Docker. Those things also we can able to see the requirement type. Okay, Docker Compositor is one more thing is a, what is a Docker composes, and this is also one kind of YAML file based multiple container applications, like how the Docker image were presented the similar format. This is also one kind of YAML file based on things. Okay, YAML file contains all the configurations. Okay, all the configuration will be presented inside that need to be deployed in the container composition and also integrated with the Docker and providing the directly for the building and deploying that containers. Okay, these are the basic information about that what is a Docker composer and Docker hub and Docker container and Docker image and all. Okay, and next video session we can able to see how we can able to download for the Docker desktop. Okay, and how we can able to install and all, we'll see in the next video session. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and share to your friends and colleagues. Thank you.